problem still remains that the pneumonal or objects beyond experience, beyond the series of appearance, which may not be the pneumona, but beyond another series of causes in time, is not knowable according to Kant. So how could we know if it is free or not, if any of these objects are truly free? I gave Einstein's solution for a posteriori knowledge and my solution, Joseph Vuitton, for a priori knowledge. Einstein argued that Kant's conception of a priori time is a mistake, since we can define time using experience or in a posteriori way by using light waves to define time. Light is the medium which is what is invariant in the coordinate systems of both observers. Light is what we know as the visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Really, it is how we use. Really, it is how we all use, including the physicists, to study the world, since our eyes depend on it. Aristotle said that the eyes are our most important sense organ and is a great source of knowledge about the world. Einstein used the fact that speed is equal to distance divided by time in elementary physics to define time and space. Though it can be expressed using the differential calculus, the relationship is not linear. And the speed of light is known thanks to the work of Maxwell and Hertz and others. So that selecting a unit distance and knowing the speed of light, one can define a time unit as the time it takes light wave, which travels at 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second, to travel that unit distance. So Einstein created knowledge of the pneumonal world even though it was beyond our mind, and helped explain a few mysteries, and he made a few predictions based on the theory, which were confirmed later, and thus all this helped confirm his general theory of relativity created about 100 years ago. This is from page 7. And it does help confirm that this world was indeed in time. It is tempting to say that Einstein proved that time in our mind and time in the world are thus different entities, but maybe this is not so, exclamation mark, since SI and GR just say that our perception of time is different depending on our relative motion or acceleration. Super critique of Einstein. Also other physicists and philosophers after Einstein, but Einstein did not realize that by rejecting Kant's pneumonal view of the unconditioned, i.e. it is possibly outside time, and arguing that it is in time, that he actually destroyed himself, since Kant would have told him to his face if he was alive, and if Einstein was alive, that as a result he brings back the whole weight of the antimonies upon himself, since they are no longer resolved. That is, Einstein invalidated Kant's solution of the antimonies also, exclamation mark. Even physicists got this mixed up. They don't seem to realize that. Since we use light waves to see the world, this solves many of the paradoxes of the theory of general relativity, like length contraction or curvature and time dilation or the twin paradox, etc., which trouble great physicists, or at least should have troubled them if they didn't accept them out of their faith in mathematics and experimentation, even though they admitted that they were even against common sense. So in this case, it is permitted to accept things that don't make sense, exclamation mark. Crazy people or insane people or mentally ill people would love to hear this, since they do this and they are often blamed for believing what goes against common sense. Actually, it also might have been a mistake. Einstein said it didn't make a difference what you use to define time, but we use light because we understand it. Well, first of all, is it a light or a wave? Is it particles or a wave? And second of all, it's what we actually use to perceive the world. So it's not. I don't know if it's a very good choice. Plus, the constancy of the speed of light. He said it would destroy his theory if it was disproven. I suggest maybe it's only true inside our mind. That's why it's constant. Outside the world, you might need another theory of relativity. Even Nietzsche says that physicists only study against the inner mind, really. So maybe you have to do what Einstein did, but in the mind you use light, and in the world you use the EM waves, but outside the mind, the speed of light will be different for different observers, I think.